very good evening and welcome to Prime TV News. It's the first midweek edition of 2019, so wishing you the best for this year. I'm Ishara Nautuna. Let's take a quick look at your headlines first. The President thanks all those stood by flood victims. The Prime Minister congratulates Bangladeshi PM on election victory. Tripitaka is to be declared as a national heritage. Xi Jinping expounds best approach to reunification. And now for your news in detail. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has congratulated Sheikh Hasina on her party's victory in Bangladesh's general election. PM Wickremesinghe said Sri Lanka and Bangladesh have enjoyed warm and cordial relations for a considerable period of time, and it is his fervent hope that these long-lasting bonds that bind the two nations will reach new heights in the coming years. The PM has stated that as Hasina commences a fresh tenure, he wishes to reassure the continued friendship and solidarity with Bangladesh. The national ceremony to declare the Tripitaka a national heritage will be held on the 5th of this month at Aluvihara Matale. A special press conference was held at the Presidential Secretariat in this regard today. The third Dhamma Sangayana came up with 3 baskets, Vinaya, Sutta and Abhidharma of Buddhist doctrine, and Arahat Mahinda brought them to Sri Lanka. The doctrine of the Buddha has been preserved for many centuries in Sri Lanka with state honour. The Mahasangha, including Arihatheras, secured the Buddhist doctrine for many centuries, and for the first time in history, it was turned to written form during the reign of Valagamba in the 1st century BC at the Aluvihara Matale. In the 2500s Sri Sambuddha Jayantiya, which was marked in 1956, the Tripitaka was printed as a complete series of books. The Tripitaka, which occupies a prominent place among sacred literature in the world, has been made a world heritage under the patronage of the President. 1,500 Mahasangha will participate in the event. A meeting was held in Colombo between the member of the EU-Sri Lanka Friendship Group in the European Parliament, Geoffrey Van Orden, and TNA leader R. Sambandhan. The TNA says that the current political situation was discussed in the meeting. Sambandhan stated that he took the decision to support the government as a policy decision at a time when there was no Prime Minister or a government. It was also stated in the meeting that before the 4th of February, the report of the expert committee on the new constitution would be presented. Nepal and Sri Lanka have stepped up in economic cooperation. A special summit was held in Nepal by the Sri Lanka Chamber of Industries and Commerce under the patronage of Sri Lankan Ambassador in Nepal, Swarna Pereira, and Nepal Sri Lanka Industrial and Commerce Council's chairman, Ramesh Maharajan. Representatives of the Association of Nepal Tourism Association and several other travel and commerce agencies in Nepal participated in the event. Discussions on the tourism industry were held at the summit. The police media spokesman's office states that suspects of the shooting that took place in the Kaluthara North area last night have been identified. The office said that they have begun operation to arrest them as soon as possible. The shooting took place near the Thotupula junction of Gaul Road in the Kaluthara North area around 10:35 p.m. A man who had come from a motor car had shot and escaped. The individual who was injured in the incident has been admitted to the Nagara Hospital in Kaluthara. Preliminary investigations have revealed that this has been caused due to a prolonged dispute. Meanwhile, 3 persons have been killed in 3 places yesterday and today. The assassinations were carried out at Deyanganegama, Ratnapura, Awulugaha in Habaradua and Udagama. 2 persons who went to bath in the Sea of Koskoda have died. Two persons who had arrived in a pilgrimage from Alpitia had died in the incident. The deceased are residents of Karandenia and Alpitia areas aged 14 and 19. The Kozhikode police stated that the accident had occurred due to the bathing in dangerous place that is unsuitable for swimming or bathing. The Met Department announces that fairly cold weather is expected to continue over the island, particularly in northern, north central, northwestern and eastern provinces. Showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in the central province and in Ratnapura, Gaul and Mathura districts. Mainly fair weather will continue elsewhere. Fairly strong gusty winds up to 40 km per hour can be expected over western and Uva provinces and in the Ampara, Puttalam, Kegaul and Hambantota districts. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central province and Ratnapura district during the morning. Mainly fair weather will prevail over the sea areas around the island. Winds will be northeasterly and wind speed will be 30 to 40 km per hour in the sea areas around the island. The sea area off the coast extending from Mana to Gaul via Puttalam and Colombo, and also in the sea area off the coast extending from Mathura to Pottuvil via Hambantota can be rough at times as the wind speed can increase up to 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. A number of roads have been developed under the Gamperelia development program. The Opath-Valikode Road was commissioned and vested with the public under the patronage of parliamentarian Hesha Vitanage and other public representatives. In addition, the Opath Hospital Road and Opath-Valikode Road were also developed under the initiative. The amount spent for this was 400,000 rupees. These roads will benefit a large number of people of the area. Meanwhile, under the Gamperelia development program, the Iriya-Tota-Tattadenia Road was reconstructed and vested in the people under the patronage of Kamburupitiya UNP organizer, Provincial Councillor Chandana Priyantha. The amount spent for the project was 21 lakhs rupees. The development of the road will benefit more than 600 families. Meanwhile, infrastructure in a number of villages in the Ratnapura district were developed under the Gamperelia program at cost of 86 lakhs rupees. President Maithripala Sirisena expresses his gratitude to all those who dedicated themselves for the well-being of the people in the north who were caught with recent adverse weather. The President also thanks all the members of the three forces and the police, provincial governors, public officers and volunteer organizations who were continuously providing relief to the people of the north affected by the inclement weather. Announcement issued by the President's Media Division states that a special relief program was launched with the guidance of President Maithripala Sirisena to provide immediate relief to the affected people in the north. The Presidential Media Division said that the troops were able to rescue many flood victims who were trapped in the havoc and minimize the damage caused to the lives and property. The announcement further states that the President appreciates those who were committed for the humanitarian mission, fulfilling their responsibilities on behalf of fellow men. Continuing with more local stories, 25 acres of land has been destroyed in a fire in the Mutharajavela area. The fire has quickly spread with strong winds. The fire brigade attached to the 5th Gamunu Brigade of the Sri Lanka Air Force engaged in extinguishing of the fire. The Mi-17 helicopter of the Air Force was also used to dousing the fire. The Criminal Investigations Department informed the court today that another group of suspects will be arrested over the alleged disappearance of 11 persons in the Kottahena area. Navy Lieutenant Commander Chandana Prasad Hettiarachchi, who is in remand custody in connection with the case, was further remanded. He was ordered to be remanded until the 9th of this month by Fort Magistrate Ranga Disanayaka. Chief Inspector of the CID Nishanta Silva further said that a Navy officer was ready to give a strong witness about the incident. The magistrate ordered to make the statement in the official chamber of the court. Meanwhile, the court stated that the ruling on the case against MP Johnston Fernando will be announced on the 29th of this month regarding the allegation of not submitting asset declarations for the year 2010 to the Presidential Secretariat. The hearing on this case was completed before. Accordingly, the complainants and the defendants filed written submissions on the case. The case has been filed by the Bribery Commission. Now it's time for your daily update on Biz News.
A number of measures have also been taken in pursuit of greater accountability and transparency. In particular, following the recommendations of the Presidential Commission of Inquiry to investigate, inquire and report on the issuance of Treasury bonds, measures are being taken to strengthen several laws applicable to the central bank. Measures were also taken to reform the operations relating to the issuance of government securities. A new auction system was introduced in 2017. Also, a new investment policy framework for the EPF has been introduced. The internal audit has been strengthened. We've introduced a code of conduct for both employees and the members of the Monetary Board. The procurement process for forensic audits is underway. There are 6 forensic audits, and these forensic audits are to be conducted by entities with a global practice. In a challenging global and domestic environment, the central bank is steadily improving its policy frameworks to mitigate possible risks and thereby achieve its broad objectives of economic and price stability and financial system stability. Our actions would be effective and yield desired outcomes only if certain conditions are met, especially the commitment of the government to macroeconomic stability. Given the prevailing low growth trajectory, growth-promoting policies and structural reforms are much needed priorities for the government. This must, however, be done without disrupting the fiscal consolidation progress. For this to happen, the enabling environment must be created for the private sector to play a more active role. We need consistent and predictable policies from the government and a more dynamic and entrepreneurial mindset from businesses. We need both.
And that wraps up Wednesday's edition of Prime TV News. You can visit itnews.lk for more of the very latest. I'm Ishara Nautuna. Have a good night.